Welcome to Finding America HD. I'm your host, Tom Wiles. In this episode, we'll be exploring parts of West Virginia, upstate New York, as well as Pennsylvania. So let's get started. Right now, I'm going through West Virginia on U.S. Highway 522. Not really sure the name of this town. I guess it's Berkeley Springs. I just saw a sign. This is Berkeley Springs. And so this 522 kind of narrows down to a little sort of a two-lane highway that kind of threads through here. And it's just kind of interesting to, there's just kind of a bunch of businesses and houses and a lot of people out and about today. Well, at this point, I'm going through a place called Bennett's Valley, Pennsylvania. Of course, this is another little two-lane road. This is a State Highway 255, Pennsylvania State Highway 255. It's sort of the typical sort of a back road. Type of community that you would see on a sort of a two-lane road, kind of out in the middle of nowhere, relatively speaking. And right here I'm going through Bradford, Pennsylvania. Now, there's a little bit of snow still left on the ground, even though the temperature is well above freezing. There's a few snowflakes coming down, but of course those are pretty much melting as soon as they hit the ground. It's kind of a overcast day, and I think the temperature is probably around 40 degrees. It's the date today is March 16, 2008, and so it's just kind of a not really. I guess it's right on the edge of spring here, maybe they're a few weeks away from it. So they're probably still could get more winter weather, depending. But if it were to snow and stick, it would probably melt relatively quickly. But Bradford is sort of up in the northwestern part of Pennsylvania, not too far from the New York state line. Right here I'm in the Buffalo area on Interstate 90, and you can see that there's some snow that's on the ground. Of course, now there's a few clouds in the sky. The sun is out. Earlier I came through some, a few little snowflakes that of course they weren't sticking on anything. They were melting as soon as they came down. But here the sun is shining, and it's still, the temperature's probably around 40 degrees. But you see that there's still snow that's out on the landscape that's still in the process of melting. Of course, they get tons of snow in this part of the world because of the lake effect snows. I think it's probably Lake Erie. So this is mid-March, and so it's going to be probably, I don't know, another month before they really start to get into springtime here. Well, I've now made it to a place called Jim's Truck Stop in Cheektowaga, New York, which is part of Buffalo. It looks like it's a suburb of Buffalo. This truck stop looks like it's a Sunoco truck stop. It's been here for years. I think I've stopped here once or twice before. And it's located right across the street from a large shopping mall, and I think it's right next door to like a Kmart. So it's sort of out of place. This is really more of like a retail shopping area that has grown up around this truck stop. The truck stop is actually still here, and it's not, you can see maybe the parking lot out there really isn't in all that great of condition. You can kind of see, if I can zoom in a little bit, you can kind of see that it's got some rather large potholes out there. I think it was probably paved at one time, and it looks like the pavement is kind of deteriorated, almost to the point, if it keeps deteriorating, it's going to be more like gravel than it is a pavement. So I kind of think that I'm surprised this truck stop is still here after all these years, and all this the neighborhood has changed. But on the other hand, someone still owns it, so probably what will eventually happen, the truck stop will, whoever's running it's going to get tired of running it, and the property will likely eventually be sold, and then this will be turned into some sort of a shopping area instead of and it will no longer be a truck stop. Tell you about my GoDaddy.com discount codes. Tom1 is good for 10% off of any purchase or combination of purchases at GoDaddy.com. Tom2 is good for an additional $5 off of any purchase of $30 or more. Finally, Tom3 is good for $6.95 .com domain names. Those are normally $9.99. The Tom3 code will also work if you're renewing domain names that have been purchased through GoDaddy.com, and you can save yourself some substantial money if you're renewing domain names for multiple years. I appreciate you using those codes. Some restrictions apply. See site for details. GoDaddy.com. I'm Tom Wiles. I want to remind everybody, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Finding America HD. Discount domain names.